Hello and welcome to Bernama Today. I'm Shah Shamshiri, accompanied by the very lovely Deepa Palani. And today, Deepa, is Friday the 13th. Did you realize that?
Oh no, it reminds me of all the nightmares.
It's January 13, 2012, Friday the 13th. But you know what? I can tell you one thing. Whether it's Friday the 13th or 14th, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not superstitious because Friday to me is Friday. It's Friday.
Friday, the end of the week. It marks the end of the labor that we've gone through the whole week. And it's now time to celebrate and rejuvenate.
Yes, that's right. We're going to enjoy our weekend. And today, as you know, we have many interesting stories to share. And we just couldn't resist picking out one newspaper article, and today we found this very interesting one from News Straits Times, all right, for our News on the Go segment. Apparently, there is a new saving scheme, Deepa.
What's it about?
It says here, this new saving scheme is meant for, there's a very special attractive feature about it. The low income group can get 134 ringgit monthly or 13,000 ringgit after 5 years. Imagine that, after 5 years, alright?
So what is the low income group? How low can you be?
It's actually those earning 3,000 ringgit and below a month, alright? Now, those earning 3,000 ringgit and below a month are in for a treat again with the launch of a new saving scheme. Now, Scheme Amanah Rakyat One Malaysia, SARA One Malaysia, will for the first time give an option to those with a monthly household income of 3,000 ringgit and below to exercise options to invest and allow their money to grow in 5 years.
Wow.
Alright?
The government has set aside 100 million ringgit to kickstart the scheme, the first of its kind. Launching the scheme yesterday, Prime Minister said that SARA, a hybrid of a unit trust investment and loan product, was capable of generating a consistent cash flow or monthly incentive. It gives an option to the low-income group to pay cash or to take up loan of 5,000 ringgit to participate in the scheme. That is a relief, especially for people who are just starting out, starting to work. You don't really get paid that much, and you're trying to figure out, what should I do? Should I get a fixed deposit, but I don't have that much of a saving? And I think this is the greatest initiative by the government right now to encourage savings accounts among people who are just starting off working. Those
well
who don't
said,
have
Deepa. I think I fell in this category when I first started work. Not very good at saving, have problems trying to plan my own budget. So I believe for our young professionals who just started work, actually, like you said, our fresh graduates, this may be a good alternative if you choose to start saving. It
is quite true. And of course, it all depends on how you work your budget and your financial plans for the month, beginning of the month, and of course at the end of the month you gotta check back and see, check back. Did it really work? Are you as frugal as you think you can be,
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like I said, this is a good start to the new year, right? 2012 just kicked in. And on Friday the 13th, you get such good news. So that means it's not bad luck. It is not misfortune.
Moving on, we have news about people in Haiti.
Yes, that's right.
2 years ago, there was this big, major earthquake.
We'll never forget that, because the whole world was affected by it, because we all remember. An earthquake may hit any part of the world, but the whole world will feel the pain because we feel sorry. Imagine if it happens to us, all right?
I know.
So almost 2 years on from Haiti's devastating earthquake, government buildings, churches, and homes across the country are still in urgent need of reconstruction.
Now, the presidential palace in the capital, Port-au-Prince, remains badly damaged, and the city's Our Lady of the Assumption Cathedral is a shell. 500,000 people are still living in crowded camps. That's so sad. While piles of rubble occupy spaces where homes once stood. Now, it's quite sad because we thought 2 years, by now you should have at least makeshift homes or tents where people can live comfortably. And Haiti is still under trouble with this reconstruction. It's not up to par.
So let's see what's going on over there in Haiti and find out more.
The billions of US dollars in aid that flowed into Haiti after the quake in January 2010 were meant to build a new nation with thriving farms, clothing factories, modern hospitals and paved roads in the countryside. But as the hemisphere's poorest country on Thursday marks the second anniversary of the earthquake that killed some 300,000 people, only about half of the 4.6 billion US dollars in promised aid has been spent. Only 4 of the 10 largest projects funded by international donors have even broken ground. Laurent Lamothe, Haiti's Foreign Affairs Minister, said the government is asking the international aid community to focus on Haiti again.
Now that the emergency period is over, we're asking them to re-engage in assisting us to rebuild for the long term and rebuild well.
New homes are now appearing on the outskirts of the capital. Some of them are brightly painted and appear to be almost finished, but many more are needed. The 10 biggest internationally funded projects approved by the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission, or IHRC, are ambitious and complicated. They involve multiple partners, require bids for contracts, and address a range of needs from job creation and health to energy, sanitation, and education. It will take years for them to reach completion. As workers laid the foundation for a new school, a nearby sign announces the project is dated April 2010.
Now, Shah, we saw like makeshift houses and things like that, and the reconstruction is still heavily being operated. I just hope that people in Haiti would continue to pray and, you know, not give up on life yet.
Don't give up on life, and hope they start helping out as well, because the homes look actually quite cute. The colorful ones just now. They had pink and yellow and green.
Yeah, they look like kindergartens.
Actually.
At a glance. But yeah, going on to Haitians, we just hope that Haitians can move along and put the past behind them, because a lot of people have died in the earthquake 2 years ago.
How do you put something as, how do I say, as important as an earthquake, you know, in the past? It's not easy. Like the recent tsunami, I think it's been how many years on? 2004, and now it's already 2011. 7 years ago, we were hit by the tsunami, and you'll never be able to forget what happened then, you know, especially if you actually experienced it. So yeah, something you just have to ponder upon on this Friday the 13th. But anyway, we move on from Haiti. We fly over to another part of Europe where it's the problem over there is not earthquakes. I think it's more of snow.
It's another disaster. It's in the form of a snowstorm, though. We moved to Austria, where cleanup operations continued after a major snowstorm hit Ischgl in Austria.
That's a bit hard to pronounce. Ischgl. I think we got it right. But never mind. Let's find out about this snowstorm which just hit Austria.
Cleanup operations continued in Ischgl in Austria on Thursday as life slowly returned to normal following a huge snowstorm which cut the resort off from the rest of the world. Skiers found themselves stranded following snowstorms that blocked all roads to the region, cutting the popular alpine ski resort off for 4 days. Tourists were either snowed into Ischgl or could not get to the ski resort. Roads were reopened at the beginning of the week. Over the previous weekend, up to 60 centimeters of new snow fell on a single day, and there were 3 power cuts.
Very nice, but not a nice place to be in if you don't have... It says that we had power cuts as well in Austria, in that particular town, so that means there's no electricity. So what can you do with all that snow?
Ski holiday.
Yeah, and then you need the heat when you're staying inside, you know, inside your house, indoors, right? So
when the power card's not there, you'll be a frozen popsicle.
That's right. Well said. So not a good thing at all. We hope the people of, okay, let's pronounce this correctly, Ischgl, I think, in Austria, will be able to recover from this snowstorm, and hopefully the power will be back on very soon for them.
Yeah, pretty soon. Heat them up a bit. Now moving on.
From Austria, we fly on to another part of Europe.
Well, another part of Europe, but not too far off, to the Netherlands. We're talking about seals now.
I didn't know they had seals. For some reason, I always assumed seals were only in the colder countries, in the North Pole, South Pole, Antarctica, you know, that side of the world.
Yeah, but it's pretty cold in Netherlands, some part of Netherlands.
Of course, well, they have the 4 seasons, but I just didn't know it was cold enough for the seals to hang out. But this story, I think it's not just about where seals hang out, it's about a seal nursery, actually.
Yeah,
right?
for seal orphans.
So workers at a seal nursery in the Netherlands had their hands full looking after scores of baby seals which were left orphaned by the fierce winter storms that have buffeted the coast in the past few weeks.
Wow.
So,
it's a good thing that the Dutch are taking care of the seals. We often forget to take care of orphaned
it doesn't matter whether it's seals or anything. I think if you watch the other international news about whales, dolphins being stranded by the beach, it
becomes a major issue.
And not everyone is willing to take care of these animals. So now we've got seals in Netherlands, and actually the Dutch are taking good care of them. So let's see what goes on at a nursery for seals.
One of the people looking after the seals at the Seal Rehabilitation and Research Center in Peterborough is American volunteer Tori Udney from Boston.
Well, I got a degree in biology and wanted to continue working in the marine environment. And I heard that there was a haunting crash in in Holland where you could volunteer and work with the orphaned animals. So I thought I would come here and volunteer sometimes, get some hands-on experience with them, and help with the lungworm patients, the virus patients.
The 23-year-old helps feed the young pups herrings laced with whatever medication the animals need, which involves making sure the pup eats the whole fish without leaving any. The seal population at the center has more than doubled in the last few weeks, from 140 to around 350. Storms and high tides create problems for seals because the sandbanks where they best remain underwater. Many of the animals brought to the nursery are young grey seals separated from their mothers, but others are older seals weakened by a virus or lungworm, a parasite that destroys the animal's lungs if left untreated. Lenny Hart, who founded the nursery, says the team has been treating some 100 patients. The extra arrivals forced the staff to erect a temporary structure to house them until they are nursed back to health, which can take up to 3 months. To help them bulk up, they are fed whole herring or a porridge of mashed herring, oral rehydration salts and water. If necessary, they get antibiotics and vitamins to help them regain their strength. Once the seals are fighting fit, the center staff release them back into the wild.
I like how they put the antibiotics into the fish, you know, so that the seals do not know that it's medicine and they'll probably be less cranky taking it.
Actually, we do that to people as well.
We do that
you
to
know
children, yeah, we hide like in vegetables. And
kids, you know, they would put it in I remember I had a domestic assistant once, and she said back where she come from in Indonesia, she would put tablets in bananas because they didn't know how to take tablets with just a glass of water. So you should put it in a banana and then eat the banana. That was the only way for them to take medicine, she said then, from her village. So
well, it's either that or the children are very upset about taking medicine because it doesn't taste as good.
yeah, perhaps you're right. And now seals, that was very cute actually, stuffing it in a fish, and then they had to force feed the seal though. Do you see how they do that?
What?
Like you know, the baby seals, I thought if you put a fish right in front of a seal, the seal will actually jump and, you know, pounce and start eating it.
They're probably well fed.
Perhaps.
Well-nourished
You're
seal.
very right. Maybe.
That's why they were so cute.
Very, very cute. Did you see the
going-
last one swimming all alone?
I know, it was so cute. We're just going like, oh, they're, you know, makes us want to be volunteers as well.
Well, but they did mention that, you know, that guy who was from United States of America,
Yes.
he found out about this crash, about this nursery, so he decided to volunteer and he went all the way to Netherlands. So I'm sure other people can do it. If we have Malaysian viewers who are watching and then you're interested, maybe you can just Google and find out about these nurseries, and I'm sure they have some sort of scheme where you can go there. Maybe they'll pay your lodging, you just pay for your flight, and you know, you get a free, how do I say, voluntary vacation kind of
Voluntary
thing.
experience, and it's good for the soul to do your bit to help, you know, orphans.
It's up to you. Help the animals, help the people, either one, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of helping the people, we want to help the people find out more about entertainment actually. And after this, we've got some entertainment news. We've got some news about Katy Perry. We've got some other fashion news in Brazil as well. So if you want to know more, Deepa and Shah will be right back here on Bernama Today. Don't go away.